Morgan & Amp, Morgan Law Firm. Why did Dan Newlin go away? Morgan & Morgan. Attorney Dan Newlin is leaving Morgan & Morgan to launch his very own regulation firm. What is Morgan & Amp, Morgan? Morgan & Amp, Morgan is an American regulation firm. Founded in 1988 via John Morgan, it is headquartered in Orlando, Florida. While Morgan & Amp, Morgan was once traditionally viewed as an association targeted on non-public injury, scientific malpractice, and type motion lawsuits, it additionally improved practices to different areas of criminal services. What is Morgan & Amp, Morgan? Morgan & Amp, Morgan is an American regulation firm. Founded in 1988 through John Morgan, it is headquartered in Orlando, Florida. While Morgan & Amp, Morgan used to be traditionally viewed as an association targeted on non-public injury, clinical malpractice, and category motion lawsuits, it additionally elevated practices to different areas of felony services. Are there legal professionals who have in no way misplaced a case? Gerald Leonard Spence is a semi-retired American trial lawyer. He is a member of the Trial Lawyer Hall of Fame. Spence has by no means misplaced a crook case earlier than a jury both as a prosecutor or a protection attorney, and has now not misplaced a civil case due to the fact 1969. Who is the higher legal professional, Dan Newlin or Morgan & Amp, Morgan? Dan Newlin injury attorneys personnel rated their recommend to a PAL 57% greater than Morgan & Morgan personnel rated theirs. Who is America's biggest harm regulation firm? Morgan & Amp, Morgan Lawyers. Morgan & Amp, Morgan Lawyers, America's largest personal injury law firm. Who is America's greatest harm regulation firm? Morgan & Amp, Morgan Lawyers. Morgan & Amp, Morgan Lawyers, America's largest personal injury law firm. How many instances does Morgan & Amp, Morgan have? How does Morgan & Amp, Morgan make sure that each purchaser for every of their 60,000 non-public harm instances receives a plus service? Where did Morgan & Morgan Regulation Association originate? Orlando, Florida. John Morgan established Morgan & Amp, Morgan in Orlando, Florida, in 1988. Since its commencing with simply 2 lawyers, the company has grown to over 700 attorneys with a variety of practices. What is the absolute best legal professional salary? 11 of the highest paying lawyers. Civil litigation attorney. Real property attorney. Intellectual property attorney. Bankruptcy lawyer. Family lawyer. Tax attorney. National common salary, $134,322 per year. Corporate attorney. National common salary, $137,364 per year. Patent attorney. National common salary, $143,492 per year. What kind of attorneys make millions? What types of law pay the most for attorneys? Lawyers who work for firms can earn thousands and thousands of bucks as a normal counsel. Criminal law. Personal injury. Bankruptcy law. Family law. What is the wide variety one regulation association in the world? Kirkland Ellis LLP. With $6,042 million gross income in 2021, the association positioned first on the American Lawyers 2022 Law 200 ranking. On the 2022 Global 200 survey, Kirkland Ellis ranked as the first very best grossing regulation company in the world. Why do legal professionals take instances they cannot win? This is due to the fact regulation corporations typically put a lot of cash and time into taking on a case, and they do not desire to waste sources on an unsuccessful claim. In addition, legal professionals have issues about their reputations and how they show up to the courtroom and different workable clients.